So yesterday I did a video, the first 24 hours in prison. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Today is going to be a short video. I'm just talking about how prison changes somebody. I've always ran into people who said I would never do that if I was in there. I would never act like this. I would never act like that. And it's cool for you to say that. And that usually comes from somebody who's never been locked up before and has never experienced it. But let me tell you something and let me explain this. When you go to prison, you adapt. You're not the biggest, baddest person in there. You're far from it. There's plenty of big and bad dudes in there. There's plenty of gangs in there that will basically beat you up, gang up on you, and make you do what they want. You're going to adapt. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. I don't care how big you are. Doesn't matter. Trust me. So I'm going to use myself as an example. When I went to prison, I never had any racist thoughts. I didn't have anything against any race at all. My mindset was totally different. But when you go to prison, your mind has to adapt to prison life. Especially here in Texas, everything is segregated. You have the whites, the blacks, the Mexicans, and then the others who hang around with everybody else, right? And there's just certain rules. Like you don't go and eat with another race. You don't go smoke behind another race. You don't go hang out with another race. You could do business with them. Don't let it get stupid, or you could catch yourself getting beat up and kicked out of the cell, out of the dorm. And when I first went in there and I started seeing how things were ran and started seeing how people acted, like people who I knew from the county or that I knew from somewhere else, I would see them here and they were totally different people. And it was usually a bunch of racism. It was usually a bunch of hatred, probably not for that particular person, but for everything that they've experienced, and they just pushed it all into this particular event right here. And they put all their hatred toward it. They're mad, they're hurt, they're sad, they miss their family, they don't want to be here. And that slowly changes you. It molds you into a prisoner. And one of the things that I always used to dislike when I first got locked up was you would see white dudes. Like I said in my last video, the white dudes were at the bottom of the barrel, right? But then you would see other people beat up on them just because they could. Take their commissary because they could, and disrespect them in front of everybody just to try and show off that I'm stronger than this guy. And that never made me look at that person like they were big and bad or like they got any credit for that. It just made me think they were a bully, and that if they ever tried that with me, I was going to show them that they're not big and bad. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that thought that. I'm pretty sure these are not just my feelings and my thoughts. But you would see white dudes come in and out a lot on a regular basis because a lot of them would just catch out. They would just go up to the guard and say, hey, I fear for my life, I gotta go. And the guards would take them, ship them off, and put them in a little, they had this little dorm where the office, where classification and everything was at. And then back of there they had I don't know how many, maybe 6 cells, maybe more, I'm not sure, but they had that, and that's where they would place you. Classification would talk to you, find out why you're back there, who's trying to get you and all that, and then off they go. They get shipped off. Some people call it the hole, right? But I used to see these white dudes walk in, and I remember they would come in there, and like I said in my last video, they would be asked to fight. They didn't want to fight. Gotta realize a lot of these white dudes are like that because they grew up in good households. Not all of them, but the majority of them. They grew up in a family that just gave them love. They weren't part of the streets. They weren't ripping and running all over the town. It just wasn't, their life wasn't like a lot of our lives, growing up in the hood, growing up in the barrio, being associated with gangs, fighting, they didn't do a lot of that. And so when they were asked to fight, their first thing was like, why? What did I do? You know? And they would automatically be taken advantage of because you can tell this guy's not a street guy. This guy's an easy target. And they would beat these people up. And I remember always feeling like I wanted to go and help this person because they didn't deserve to be in that situation. They didn't do anything. The only reason they were being messed with is because this broke bully over here wanted to go and attack him and take something because his family wasn't sending him that. But you can't do that. You have to sit there and you have to watch this dude get beat up. And I'm not talking about a regular beat up, like this dude would be getting beat up. Eye busted up, bones in the face broken, stomped on. And then you would just have to watch them lay there. They would lay there and bleed until they could get enough energy to get up and go tell the guards they needed to go. And you were just supposed to harden your heart, act like you didn't see them, and not go help, which that was a natural instinct of mine, to go and help somebody who's in need. Anytime I drive down the road, I see somebody broken down on the side of the road. My instinct as a man is to stop and help. If I see somebody getting bullied out here or some stupid crap, my instinct is to help. When I see somebody hurt, I want to help. You can't do that in there. And it's very sad. And then you're supposed to become this overnight racist. You're not supposed to want to talk to any other race, do anything with any other race. And a lot of the units weren't as strict on that. You were still divided by race, but you could still go talk to them, hang out. And I had a bunch of dudes in there that I was cool with who were black, white, everybody, right? And then there's certain units where you're not going to do that, or you're going to get beat up and then you could be part of them, right? We also used to have a lot of race riots, and it was always between, well, not always, but it felt like it was always between the Hispanics and the blacks. You always had it with the whites and the blacks, and it was with everybody, right? And these were at units where there was a lot of white dudes, but everybody knew they were going to lose. But the ones that I'm talking about is the race riots between black and Mexican, Hispanic, whatever, right? And everybody should know by now, Hispanics are going to fight and they're going to pull them pokers out. They're not doing any plan. This is to show which group is the best group on this unit. A lot of the people loved this type of stuff. It was fun to them. We have something to do now. We're not going to be bored today. We're going to take these dudes out. And those guys right there have been annoying me for the longest time, and I never did anything, so that way there wouldn't be a race riot. But now that we're having one, I could go take care of my business. And we would go, and you had an option. All the people and organizations didn't have a choice. You're going to get in or you're going to get smashed out when we're done taking care of them. The people who were solo and things like that, you had an option. Sit down, get against the wall, mind your business, or jump in for your race. Let's take care of this. You'll always have a whole bunch of respect. And there's that. Or if you really don't like it, then why don't you go join the blacks and you can be part of them. Your people will never talk to you again. So all the people who were going to join, except for like the older people, like the gay people, all that, they never got into anything, right? But everybody would get ready. You would go get whatever you could get your hands on, a whole bunch of magazines, put it in like armor, where your stomach's at, where your chest is at, tie it with little strings that we would get from the bed sheets. Tie it real good, like little ropes we used to make. Get your little pokers, and when I say little, I'm just trying to be able to say this on YouTube. Just put it like that. They weren't little. Those things were crazy. They were dangerous. They were wild. And you would go and you would sharpen them up real good, make sure they're real nice and ready for use. And then everybody just waits in the day room, on the rec yard, wherever it's about to go down. And the first person that's going to jump it off, people usually talk like, hey, you and you go over there. As soon as you jump it off with this guy, everybody's right behind you, right? And that's how it would go. And I remember one of the ones that I was in, I'm still not fully adapted to prison at this time. I'm still not like able to just be blatantly racist. I couldn't. And they went and they jumped it off with this one guy, and that one guy that they started it with was the one that got injured the most. I mean, a lot of people got injured, but this dude got it the worst because these three dudes jumped on him and stayed on him. And it was a bunch of fists, TDC boots, and pokers. And this guy was getting beat up so bad and poked up so bad that even to this day, when I'm laying here at my bed at night and I'm thinking, I could still hear his screams. Have you ever heard that a man, when he's stripped and broken down to absolutely nothing, the first thought that he goes to is the person that made him the most comfortable and safe, which is usually his mom? Have you ever heard a grown man from the hood, fully gangster, yell for his mom? I have. And for it to get to that point, you know, you have to be close to being taken up off this world. And I've heard that a lot, especially from soldiers, like when they're out in the field and they're at war, they usually cry for their mom when they're slowly being taken from here, right? And like I said, I could lay here at night and I could think about a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna put into stories. And if I pay attention close enough, I could still hear that guy's yells, his screams, his groans, the way that those pokers sounded every time it punctured the skin. Like, you can just remember fist on flesh, boots on flesh, head on the cement floor, head on metal objects. And it's just crazy, man. And this is something that happens a lot. Like, it doesn't have to be a race riot for this to be going down. It could just be because a couple of dudes don't like each other. And every single day that you're walking around in prison, you never get a second of freedom from having to worry about if somebody's going to get you from behind. Is somebody going to poke you without you paying attention? Are you going to accidentally disrespect somebody? Or is somebody not going to like the way your face looks? Did somebody say a rumor about you that they're not even going to bother seeing if it's even true, and they're going to come do something to you? It's just a bunch of different things, man. And prison is hell. And nobody could ever fully understand it unless they experience it. And I don't mean experience it by being locked up and protected. I mean experience it by being out in general population and living through that like I did for many, many years. And some of that stuff still haunts me. I could still hear it in my head at night. I dream about it all the time. I wake up sweating because I just had a dream that I was in prison and that me being out here never happened. And when I wake up, that feeling that I get of like relief that I'm next to my wife in my bed, I'm always so relieved. It's hard to explain, but it's like, man. And I've been out now, what, 12 years? And I still have those dreams every single night. There might be a night where I don't, and I'm happy when I wake up. But most of the time, I'm happy because I'm waking up and realizing I'm not in prison anymore. I don't have to watch my back 24/7. I don't have to go and do something to somebody because of a small thing that other people thought were disrespectful. That's why I'm always telling people, stay out of prison, man. Like, don't go experience it just so you can see that I'm telling you the truth. Stay out of prison. All the young people I see out there trying to be these little bad gangster wannabes, man, just, it don't even mean nothing. And you're gonna find that out here in a couple of years. Everything you're doing right now means absolutely nothing. Trying to look good in front of your homeboys, trying to put in work, trying to look big and bad doesn't matter. You're either going to realize that yourself, or they're going to put you in prison for a long time, if not for life, and you're going to figure it out the hard way. And you're going to be begging to get out of that place. One of the things that always tripped me out is I could literally sit there in the middle of the summer in my cell, hot, dripping sweat down my, like literally rolling down my body. And I used to be thinking about the beach, because I love going to the beach. And I would be thinking about what I would be doing out there right now, who I'd be hanging out with, drinking a couple of beers or whatever it is, right? I was just imagining it so much in my head that for a second, I swear I could smell the water and the sand. Like, I swear I could smell it. Like, I just got a whiff of that. Is that something you really want to do? Stay out. Stay with your family. Stay around women. You're not going to be around any women in there. Nothing you can do out here will be worth it if you have to go to prison. And if you really mess up and you get a life sentence like a lot of these young people I see nowadays, I feel so bad for you. But that's just a little powwow that I wanted to share with you all. Just talk about a couple of more things. Don't forget, go check out my video from yesterday. Don't forget to hit that like button. And subscribing is free. If there's something that you want to hear that I'm not talking about, all you got to do is let me know in the comments. I'm just trying to get enough subscribers so maybe one day I could get monetized. It's slow going, but I've been constant. I've been dedicated. I've been working my butt off. And I know a lot of people don't see that. Maybe to them it just seems like I just throw a camera on and talk, but it's a lot of work. So if y'all could get in there and subscribe to me, that would be greatly appreciated, more than you absolutely know. And I thank each and every one of you for coming and watching. Like this video, like all my videos. It just takes a second. And until next time, like always, stay tuned.